mechanic is kicked out of a luxury restaurant. Minutes later, he makes a call and the owner starts trembling. The evening at the exclusive Beaumont's, the most luxurious restaurant in New York City, was in full swing. Crystal chandeliers cast a golden glow over white linen tables, each adorned with the finest china. The murmurs of high society filled the air, blending seamlessly with the soft jazz music played by the live band. James Carter, a mechanic, stepped inside hesitantly. Dressed in his cleanest jeans and a button-up shirt, he knew he wasn't the typical clientele, but he had been invited, no, instructed, to come by someone important. As he made his way through the opulent space, the maitre d', an older gentleman with a stiff posture and an air of superiority, approached. His eyes skimmed over James's attire with poorly concealed disdain. "I'm sorry, sir," the maitre d' said, his voice crisp. "I believe you may be in the wrong place." James furrowed his brows. "No, I was invited. I have a reservation under Carter." The maitre d' scoffed, shaking his head. "I'm afraid we don't allow individuals in workman's attire to dine here." James sighed, reaching into his pocket to retrieve his phone. But before he could speak, two security guards appeared at the maitre d's signal. "I must ask you to leave, sir." Embarrassment burned in James's chest as the guards ushered him out. The whispers of wealthy patrons and the barely hidden smirks of onlookers made his fists clench, but James didn't argue. He simply stepped outside, took a deep breath and pulled out his phone. He dialed a number and waited. "Yeah, it's me," he said once the call connected. "I just got thrown out of Beaumont's." There was silence on the other end, followed by a sharp inhale. "What?" James smirked. "Yeah, apparently I don't fit the dress code." A string of curses came through the phone before the voice continued, now controlled but laced with an undercurrent of anger. "Stay there. I'll be there in 10 minutes." James leaned against his truck, watching the grand entrance of the restaurant as expensive cars pulled up and valets scurried to open doors. Exactly 10 minutes later, a sleek black limousine pulled up, and out stepped William Montgomery, the owner of Beaumont's. The billionaire hotelier and restaurateur was a towering presence in the business world, known for his ruthless efficiency and impeccable taste. And James Carter was the one man who had once saved his life. Montgomery stormed into the restaurant, and James followed leisurely behind, the security guards frozen in place, unsure of how to react. The maitre d's face paled when he saw Montgomery approaching. Sir, Montgomery didn't let him finish. "You refused entry to my personal guest, a man who I owe more than I can ever repay?" His voice was dangerously low, each word dripping with restrained fury. The maitre d' stammered, I wasn't aware." "That's the problem," Montgomery cut him off. "You judge by appearance rather than substance. Do you know who this man is? He's the reason I'm standing here today. If not for him, I wouldn't be alive." Gasps rippled through the restaurant. James, usually reserved, sighed and shook his head. "Bill, you don't need to make a scene." "No, James," Montgomery said, turning to him. "This is my business, and I will not allow arrogance and prejudice to tarnish its name." He faced the maitre d'. "You're fired. Effective immediately." The maitre d' turned ghostly white. "Sir, please, leave." Montgomery's tone brooked no argument. With his head down, the maitre d' shuffled away. Montgomery then turned to the room. "Let this be a lesson to all of you. The measure of a person is not in their clothes, but in their character. And James Carter is worth more than everyone in this room combined." The silence was deafening. James rubbed the back of his neck, uncomfortable with the attention. "Now," Montgomery continued, his tone softening, "let's get something to eat." As James took his seat at the most exclusive table in the restaurant, the same patrons who had sneered at him before now looked at him with wide-eyed curiosity and awe. The whispers changed, from mockery to admiration. By the end of the night, James left not as the outcast mechanic, but as the man who had humbled the elite, and Beaumont's would never be the same again. If you enjoyed this story, comment Mechanic's Revenge below, and don't forget to subscribe for more incredible stories.